Welcome back. Malaysia's ringgit has stabilised somewhat this year, but currency movement alone cannot define the nation's economic strength. For many SMEs, the bigger issue is how leaders make decisions during periods of uncertainty and whether they use stability as a comfort zone or as a strategic window. Well, today we speak to Dr. Anthony Da, CEO of FSG Corporate and National Council member of the SME Association of Malaysia, on what Malaysian firms should be doing right now before the next cycle turns. Dr. Anthony, thanks for being with us today. A firmer ringgit sounds like good news on paper, but why do you argue then that this is not a moment to celebrate, but instead a moment to tighten discipline?
Good afternoon, Jessie. Thank you very much. And yes, it's true that a firmer ringgit sounds like good news on paper because it tends to improve sentiment. However, sentiment should not be confused with strength. The reason being is that currency stability does not strengthen a business. It actually creates a more governable environment. This is where leaders, they have to space to act deliberately rather than what I would say react defensively. And the responsibility in actual fact shifts from what I would say from endurance to strengthening the institution itself. And this kind of current period is a period where they should be looking at how to repair their balance sheets, how to tighten their operational discipline, and how to upgrade capability before expectations starts to rise further, especially from banks, buyers, regulators, and their suppliers or whoever not. Mm-hmm. So what I would like to say is that we should not take stability as a comfort. We should actually create this situation as a preparation. Because as we all know, conditions keep changing and it will change.
So given that companies need to move out of their comfort zone and that stability is not an indicator for long-term comfort, what are the quiet mistakes SMEs are making right now that could weaken them over time?
Okay, what happens most time is that the damaging decisions are rarely dramatic. What I would say is they are gradual and often rational in isolation. For instance, firms defer necessary upgrades because they do not appear urgent. For instance, like systems, documentation, supervision, and compliance. They start relying on short-term financing. Then they tend to accept weaker commercial terms to preserve immediate cash flows. So each of these decisions is right today. But when you look at it collectively, they weaken resilience and credibility over time. So competitiveness is not usually lost through one major event. It is eroded quietly, in actual fact, when strengthening is postponed repeatedly. So by the time conditions become difficult again, firms realize what was deferred has become a structural weaknesses. So the real cause of volatility is not the shock itself. It's the distortion of decision-making over time. So this is the biggest problem that we are facing.
Right. Given the fact that we are seeing some amount or some level of stability at this point, there's a window. What are 2 or 3 practical moves you would suggest for Malaysian SMEs to take this year so that they can see those results in the next 5 years?
Okay, what I would say is that the priority should be institutional strengthening and not just expansion. So firms first must strengthen their financial resilience, such as like restoring the balance sheet discipline, ensuring liquidity, and not dependent on favorable conditions alone. And the second one I would like to say is that they should improve their operational credibility. And this is where they should systemize documentation, supervision, improving their supervision, and ensuring the business can perform consistently under high standards. The reason being is that increasingly, firms are selected based on reliability and on compliance and bankability. Not so much of the relationship alone as what we used to prescribe. And the last one is that they must invest in selectively in capability, particularly, especially in productivity, execution discipline, and supervisory depth. Now, this is not about growing quickly. What I'm trying to say is that it is about becoming dependable, because over time, firms that earn trust gain access to opportunities that are not available to weaker institutions. So
just to pick your mind, Doctor, very quickly, it is Visit Malaysia Year 2026. That's also expected to provide additional boost to services and exports and other travel-related demand that could help boost our local currency. What are some of your thoughts around that?
Okay, what I would like to sum up to say is that currencies will always move. Whether it's the Visit Malaysia Year or that's for this year and going forward, but firms that use stable periods like this today to strengthen their foundation, tap into the advantage of Visit Malaysia Year, are the ones that will remain trusted when conditions turn. So that is how they have to position themselves. This window, you take advantage, you discipline yourself for future.
Doc, thank you very much for your insights. So that was Dr. Anthony Das, CEO of FSG Advisory Incorporate, as well as National Council member of the SME Association of Malaysia, weighing down a little on the state of our currency and its stability. It's time for another quick break. When I return, I'll give